welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another empties video. I've managed to amass quite a large collection of empties again and wanted to go through them so I can finally chuck them in the bin. I had hoped to do this video sooner when I had a lot less empties so it wouldn't be a year long, but when I've got everything together in my basket I've realised that I do have quite a lot of empties here to go through, so we'll try and do it as quickly as I can. There will be a section where it's probably going to be predominantly samples, which link to my Feel Unique sample service that I use. So most of those I probably will have given some form of review in my monthly videos. If you've not seen them, I will obviously give a quick recap of my thoughts just in case this is one of the first videos you're watching, or if you don't watch my Feel Unique series. So let's get started. This is going to be in no particular order. I'm not sectioning hair care, skincare and makeup things. I know quite a few YouTube channels that I watch do that and I do appreciate watching it, but I haven't had chance, so this is just going to be literally going through everything here. The first thing we have is this Nivea In Shower Body Moisturiser. Excuse the state of it. This is my go-to body moisturiser. I only moisturise in the shower. I used to be a nightmare at remembering to moisturise full stop. There was probably a good period of years where I just didn't moisturise my body at all, and then they brought this out. I think a few other brands are trying to do this kind of thing now, but this is the only one that I tend to see on a regular basis, and this is just great. This is probably featured in other empties videos, to be honest, so I don't need to go over it in too much detail, but super easy. If you're a lazy person who doesn't like moisturising, this is great because you literally apply it after your body wash, rinse it straight off, and your skin does feel nice and soft. So absolutely love this and will continue to repurchase it. We then have this selection of Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potions. This is what I received in my original Urban Decay Naked palette, and I've only fully used the original one. I am probably halfway through Eden, but it feels pretty rock solid, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get anything more out of that. I haven't even touched the Sin or Anti-Aging one, but I just think I regularly reach for my Milani eyeshadow primer. I can't actually remember the last time I reached for these, and I say that Eden one has gone bad and these probably aren't in their best state, so I thought I'm probably best spinning these. As an eyeshadow primer, I don't remember them being too bad. I remember I liking the original more than Eden, but I do prefer the drugstore primers that I use now. Then we have this Tarte Mermaid Skin Serum. This is covered in the remains of a face mask that is in the bottom of here somewhere. And this is a hyaluronic H2O serum, and I regularly pick these up as a £1 perk or whatever they are when I purchase from Tarte online, and I do get a lot of uses out of this. I think it's a great serum. It is really moisturising to the skin, and I do notice definitely an improvement in my dry patches when I am using this. I do have one on the go at the moment that I'm currently halfway through, but I have kind of paused because I am using the ordinary hyaluronic acid treatments at the moment, and I feel like that's just as good, and it's going to be a lot cheaper because I can only get this when I purchase it as a sample. And I do actually think last time I looked on Tarte they have done a shift around of their samples, and I don't think you can get this one anymore, so I don't mind too much that I haven't. I find the ordinary as a good alternative to this one. Then we have a hand sanitizer, and this is the Zoella Hand on Heart hand sanitizer, or hand cleanser as it says. I really like the scent of this. It is not alcohol-y smelling like a lot of hand sanitizers or hand gels, things that you can get out there. It does have a nice kind of fruity / floral scent to it. My husband doesn't like the smell of it. He thinks it's too overpowering. I think he'd rather smell the alcohol-y scent. He thinks it's a bit too girly, but I really like it and like that it doesn't smell like alcohol gel. So I already have another one of these that I'm probably about halfway through in my handbag, and if I can still get hold of it, I will purchase another one once that's gone. I think this is from her original line, so I do think this is the one that's continually available, but from what I've seen online recently, I think she's coming to the end of her Zoella Beauty contracts and things, so they're probably going to come out of stores, so I might just have to pick another one of these up before they do. Then we have these Lacura Daily Cleansing Pads. So these are the Aldi supermarket version of the Nip and Fab pads. I quite enjoyed using these. I think these were only £2.49 compared to, I think the Nip and Fab ones are probably about £10. But I did enjoy using them. I didn't notice a massive amount of effects, no more than the normal exfoliating face wash or face mask that I use. I wouldn't run out and purchase any more, but I have recently done a little purchase with Nip and Fab. They had their deals where they do a lot of products for £5 each that are normally £10, £15, £20. And I think I have ordered some cleansing pads within that, but I don't think they're the glycolic acid ones. I think they may be the dragon blood ones, but I'm waiting for that order to arrive, and then I'll probably test that for a few weeks and then do a video on it with a review of my thoughts on the products. Then we have a few mascaras to run through. I think I may have mentioned these in previous videos because I know these have all been included in my everyday makeup drawer, so I've probably decluttered them when I've been doing that. So again, I won't go over them too much detail. The first one is this Maybelline The Falsies Push Up Drama. If I remember rightly, this is the one that hurt to apply. I think it has a really spiky wand. Yes, with really short bristles on it, and it was quite painful to apply, and it didn't do hardly anything to my lashes. I think this has a lot of product left in it because I just couldn't face using it, and it didn't do enough for my lashes to cope with the stabbing and my eyelash pain. So I threw this in my empties drawer. I know it's not empty per se, but I'm not going to be using it anymore, and I do use this drawer as a kind of empty slash declutter drawer. Then we have this Too Faced Size Queen mascara, and again, this was another one in my everyday makeup drawer. Gave it a fair shot, couldn't get on board with it. I know it's called Size Queen, but there is no need for the size of that wand. I just couldn't really get it anywhere near my lashes without applying it to half of my eyes and the bridge of my nose. It didn't do an awful lot for my lashes anyway, so it did justify the large brush. And another one, there's probably a lot of product left in here, but I just don't rate it, so I'm getting rid of it. A mascara that I did enjoy is this NARS Climax mascara. This was one that when I first got it, I didn't pay full price for it, which I believe is about £21. I think I paid about £14 for it, which is still quite up there in terms of mascaras when I do tend to go for more drugstore prices. And I was quite disappointed in it at the beginning, but the more I used it, the more I liked it. And I've had that with mascaras in the past. When I first open them, I don't enjoy them, but the more that they are used and maybe slightly dry out, the more I enjoy using them. This one became one that I did want to reach for a lot, and I think I had this in my everyday makeup drawer for a couple of months. So I have used it all up, it has all gone. I can't say that I will rush out to repurchase it because it does have to kind of blow my socks off for me to go out and repurchase a high-end one. For example, the Benefit Bad Gal Bang, that is one that I would repurchase because I do really like the effect that that gives me. For an everyday mascara, I don't tend to buy high-end, I do just tend to buy drugstore. And with regards to the effect it gives my lashes, it's not quite the dramatic that I'm willing to pay more for. It is more everyday, so I am quite happy with the drugstore ones that I have. But it is one that I could potentially purchase in the future, or if it did go on sale, I would look at it again. But for its full price, I wouldn't repurchase it for that. Then we have this Maybelline Total Temptation mascara. I can't remember if this is the first or second tube of this I have, but it's one of those ones where I am so on the fence about it. Some days I just don't like it, other days I think it's okay, other days I like it. I think the lesson I'm learning from that is that it's just okay. Yes, it wasn't overly expensive, but I've definitely tried better mascaras from Maybelline. I've definitely tried better mascaras in the drugstore generally. So I wouldn't repurchase it again, but I can't remember why I ended up with a second one in the first place. So wouldn't recommend it, wouldn't necessarily run out to purchase it again. This one is the Wet n Wild Lash Renegade mascara. I had heard great things about this, but I just didn't really rate it as highly as other people do. One of my first issues was the applicator. I just didn't really understand the kind of ball tip on the end. I didn't find that it helped get all my lashes as I think it's supposed to. It didn't give the greatest of effects. Again, it was an okay everyday mascara, but even then I have much better everyday mascaras. This was just really okay, and it was so awkward to store. So I think I did use up the majority of this product, but I just gave up trying to store it in the end, and I had it out, and then it was annoying me and it wasn't deserving enough to be constantly on show. So I think that's why I've decluttered it. And then I think this is the final mascara. This is the Ico Sport Waterproof Mascara. This is one that I believe is in my everyday makeup drawer for April, I want to say. And I just found that this was absolutely rubbish. It did absolutely nothing to my lashes at all. I would probably apply about 5 coats of it and they wouldn't look much different. If anything, they would kind of look like lashes would look at the end of the day after just applying an okay mascara in the morning, if that makes any sense. But again, issue with applicators, it's curved in a weird way, it's really flat. I just didn't feel like it coated the lashes. I had to constantly go over and put multiple coats on. I did think this was going to be a good one for travel because it is in a tube, so wouldn't get bashed around as much. But I'm glad I did try it before travelling, because if this is one of the mascaras I would have took with me, I would have been really disappointed. Then we have this Biore baking soda micellar water, and if you see my recent Project Pan video, this was an item that was in there, hence the little black line on it. And this was one that I've finished up and I'm currently halfway through a second one. So I do really enjoy using this. I have this one and I also have the charcoal variation of it, but I think this one's a little bit gentler on the skin. I know generally micellar waters aren't overly gentle on the skin because I think they do contain quite a bit of alcohol, but I quite like this one, and it does effectively remove my makeup and doesn't leave much residue on the skin, and also doesn't dry it out too much, so I do really recommend this and will probably continue to purchase it. Then we have this sample of the It's Potent Eye Cream from Benefit. This is one that I got a lot of use out of, but as you can see I have literally scraped every last drop out of it. I did receive the full size of this for Christmas from my mother-in-law, and I'm making a good go on that one at the moment after trying this and really enjoying using it. And I find that it did genuinely help with my under eye dark circles and it made them less prominent, and I think I've been using this continuously for about 8 months now and I do feel like it has generally helped. Then we have this Imperial Leather Foam Burst Shower Gel. This is my everyday go-to shower gel. I have tried numerous foam ones since and I just keep going back to this one because I really like the amount of foam you get from it. A little does go a long way. I get such a long time out of just one of these containers. This one isn't technically an empty. I'm about to put this in my shower. The one that's in my shower I completely forgot and put in the bin, so I didn't want to go fishing it out again, and I just thought, just for illustration purposes, I'd show this one, but it is technically an empty that I've had and continue to have because I do love this shower gel. Then we have the e.l.f. Daily Facial Cleanser, and this again is my go-to pretty much everyday facial cleanser, and it is really gentle on the skin. It's kind of got a milky consistency to it, so it's not heavy in the slightest. It is really good at removing any residue of makeup that I have left on my face, and it does leave my face feeling really fresh and clean, which is obviously what it's supposed to do. And it does say it with purified water. I don't know what that does to my skin, but it is a really good face wash and I continue to repurchase this one also. We then have the Aussie Miracle Moist Conditioner. As you can see, I've desperately tried to get every last drop out of this. It won't go back to shape. It says it is for dry, really thirsty hair. I do generally suffer from frizzy hair, so I would definitely say I fit into this category. It's not the best conditioner I've tried. There are ones that make my hair less frizzy, but this does make it more manageable than if I didn't use any conditioner at all. I was using this to solely use it up after trying it. I'm currently using a Garnier conditioner at the moment. Now this one's gone, but it was nice while I used it. It just wasn't the best. I've definitely tried better conditioners. The only thing that made me keep using it was I absolutely love the smell of it. It's got the, I think this one has the traditional Aussie smell, which I can never put my finger on what it is, but it smells really nice, so that's why I continue to use it even though it's not the best conditioner out there. We then have these e.l.f. Mouth Off lipstick remover pads. I seen this in my drawer and knew I was coming to the end of it, so decided to open up and found I had 2 pads left in the bottom, but they have completely dried out. So I'm gutted that I didn't use them sooner because I absolutely love these lipstick remover pads. I need to have a route around in my backup drawer because I'm hoping I do have one more of these in there. As far as I'm aware, e.l.f. have not discontinued these because every single time I've tried to buy these on their website, they've been out of stock, and I've been checking kind of on a regular basis, so I do think they have discontinued these, especially into the UK anyway. I don't think I ever seen these in store in the shops that sell e.l.f. here. It was only ever online I seen them, but they were so good at removing the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink with liquid lipsticks, which are just a nightmare to remove, but with these, one swipe and they were off. So say I'm hoping I do have another one left in my drawer, but I'm a bit sad that I did waste the 2 that we have left in here. because I do really rate them, and I think they were only £3 as well, so I do hope they do bring them back in the future if they haven't discontinued them already. Then we have this Essie top coat, and this is my new go-to top coat nail varnish. I did always used to rely on the Seche Vite top coat. The last bottle of that I had, I found was kind of shrinking my nail varnish and also discolouring it, whereas I don't find I have that issue with this. I don't know if I just had a dodgy bottle of the Seche Vite or that's just the change in formula, but since I've been using this I haven't had that problem, and this makes my nails last as long as the Seche Vite did. I believe they are very similar in price. This one is usually £9.99. I think Seche Vite is usually £9.99, or I've sometimes seen it for £12.99, but they are pretty comparable. Apart from this, to say, it doesn't shrink my nail varnish or discolour it that I've seen. I do already have another one of these open and on the go, and definitely recommend this as a top coat nail polish. We then have this Smashbox Be Legendary lipstick. This is in the shade Mauve Matte and is obviously one of their matte lipsticks. This isn't an empty, this is just a declutter. I have an awful lot of this left, so I am actually going to see if a friend wants this, because it'd be a shame to bin it otherwise. But I kept reaching for it and I kept not enjoying using it because it is so dry. I do appreciate that bullet lipsticks, especially matte ones, are drier than a matte liquid lipstick, but this and I think the Anastasia Beverly Hills are probably the driest bullet lipsticks that I've tried, and it's too uncomfortable to wear. Yes, okay, they last a long time, but this one doesn't fade off very nicely. It makes it obvious when it is fading off, so I'd rather not keep hold of something that I'm not enjoying using, so that's why I've kind of thrown it in here. But I know it's technically not an empty, but say it is a declutter. Same with this other lipstick we have. This is NYX Extra Creamy lipstick, and this is in the shade Talia. This one is probably one that does have to go in the bin, to be honest, because I've noticed slight discoloration on the top. I don't know how well it'll show, but it's a different colour to the actual bullet itself, so I don't know if it's on its way out. I have had it for a long time. It wasn't overly expensive. If I remember rightly, I did also purchase this in an outlet, so I don't know if it was already old before I purchased it. So better to be safe than sorry. I thought I would get rid of this, but this one will just go in the bin, so kind of counts more as an empty. It's such a shame because it is a nice formula and it is a really nice shade. I would potentially consider purchasing from this range in the future, but the fact of the way this has gone is the only thing that kind of puts me off it. I can now see the bottom of the basket. We are making progress. The next empty we have is this shampoo, which is from Beaver Professional. This is the Nutritive, is that how you say it? Nutritive Moisturising Shampoo. This is what I class as my posh shampoo. I finished my other my normal shampoo, which is also in here as well, but this is the one that I reach for if I need my hair to stay frizz free for the longest. So say for example, if I'm going out on the weekend, I'll tend to wash my hair with this the night before, or if I know it's going to be a bit warmer that week, I'll tend to wash my hair with this because it does make it go less frizzy, which my hair does in the heat. It doesn't cost the earth. It was only, it was about £15. I think I did get it with discounts from Birchbox, which is another slightly annoying thing because I'm on a bit of a boycott with Birchbox and it's the only place I've seen that you can get this from. It does occasionally crop up on Amazon, but every time I've gone to purchase it, it's been out of stock, so I have had to go to Birchbox, which I don't really like doing. I do have one more of these unopened in my drawer, which I will reach for the next time I need it. But I do really rate this shampoo, and I say it does work better for my hair than my everyday one, but my everyday one is sufficient enough for everyday use kind of thing. But yeah, this is my go-to high-end shampoo, shall we say. My everyday shampoo is just one from Avon, and this is the Advanced Techniques 360 Nourishment Shampoo, and this one has Moroccan argan oil in. I do find that shampoos I use with argan oil in do help tame the frizz. I do also use the Moroccan hair treatment after I've washed my hair, and it does help with the frizz. I don't know what it is that helps with the frizz, but there's something about Moroccan oil or argan oil that do help. This helps enough for me to get by in that when I straighten my hair it does stay straight, but if there is a slightest bit of rain, humidity, heat, anything like that, it does tend to frizz up with this. But it makes it feel nice and clean. It does smell really nice and you don't need an awful lot. Some shampoos you obviously do need a decent amount. I, as most people I think do, wash my hair twice in each hair wash. It is a 400ml bottle and I think this only costs £3, whereas I say this is a 258ml bottle, but this cost somewhere between £10 and £15, so that's why I do have a cheaper one for my everyday use. I've already repurchased another one of these. Then we have my deodorant. This is the Nivea Pale and Beauty deodorant. I really like the scent of this. It is kind of fruity and fresh at the same time, which is my go-to scent. I don't like things overly sweet and fruity, but then I don't like things overly fresh scented. So say this is kind of the perfect medium, and I do feel like it works as a good antiperspirant. I don't know what else you can really say about a deodorant, but I like the scent and I regularly repurchase this one, and I've probably been using this same deodorant for about 5 or 6 years now. Next thing is this Tarte Maracuja Sea Brightener Eye Treatment. This is just the mini pot that they have as part of usually gift sets and things like that, but I really do like this eye treatment. I use this in conjunction with the Benefit eye cream that I showed previously. I use the Benefit one under my eyes and I use this one on the lids and kind of out towards my crow's feet. Because it is a brightening eye treatment, I do suffer from slight discoloration and also some visible veins on my eyelids, but I feel like this does help tame them slightly. And I do notice that if I don't apply this the night before when I'm applying eyeshadow, I don't always apply eyeshadow the next day, that you can see my veins more prominently on my eyelids, so I do feel like it helps. My only issue is the full size is about £35 and I struggle to spend that much on eye treatments and skincare and things, so I do tend to just look for it in another set and purchase it with that, because these do last a decent amount of time because you do need the tiniest of amounts. So I don't mind purchasing it as part of a set because there's usually something else in the sets that I want to either use again or try for the first time. But I do really enjoy this eye cream, I just can't purchase the full size. We then have a sample of the L'Oreal Extraordinary Oil Nourishing Cream. This was a sample. This is the start of the samples from Feel Unique. This is a sample that I didn't actually order. I'd ordered another L'Oreal product but didn't realise until after using this. I really did like this oil cream because of the name of it, oil cream. It was quite a unique formula. It blended really nicely into my skin and did leave my skin feeling soft for a long amount of time. So I think this would be one I would potentially consider purchasing in the future. Then have this BioSkin Derma Serum Skin Nourishment. I haven't quite used all of this. It is nearly empty enough that I'm going to bin it anyway. And the problem I had with this was the scent. It does contain eucalyptus oil and it was quite strongly scented with that. So I did find like it was a slight irritant to my nose and also to my skin. So I did stop using this because I didn't want to risk my skin breaking out or anything like that. So I didn't rate it, but if you like eucalyptus oil, it might be something that you might like to try, because all the other things I've tried from Cellcora or the BioSkin line have been pretty good. It's just this one didn't agree with me. We then have the Naughty Intensive Care Leave-In Conditioner. The brand name has ripped off here. And this is it for frizzy and damaged hair. I really like this leave-in conditioner, and this was a sample from Feel Unique as well. And I got a good few uses out of this sachet and I enjoyed it that much I did immediately go and purchase the full size. It smells really nice as well. It's got a slight coconut scent to it. I don't know what it is with the bottle of it that I've got, but the drawer that it's in now smells of this. The bottle is sealed tight, or the tube, whatever it is, the cap is shut tight on it, but still the scent seems to seep out. So if you are sensitive to scent, you may not like this one as much because it is quite strong. But once it is in your hair, it does dissipate quite quickly, but obviously the application process, the smell is quite strong. But I really like this leave-in conditioner, and I find that it does genuinely help taming the frizz in my hair, but it also does weigh it down slightly so I don't suffer from flyaways, because sometimes frizz treatments I've tried make my hair a little bit more softer, which in turn then makes it more flyaway. But this is kind of the perfect medium, and again it contains argan oil, so obviously that does kind of work wonders with my hair whenever I've used it. The next sample is this Ultra Smoothing Eye Serum from Dermalogica. I didn't really rate this at all. I know it says it's a serum, but it was super runny, and I think I ended up wasting half the product because I knocked it over one day. It was hard to reuse it after opening it, but I just found it kind of took a long time to soak into my eyes. My eyes just felt greasy and heavy, and I didn't notice any vast improvements. I know I didn't probably use it for as long as I should due to notice improvements, but I used the whole sachet of this, but I just, one, don't think it was enough to give it a full test, but I didn't really enjoy what I used of it anyway, so it's not one I'd repurchase. Then we have this Boing Brightening Concealer, and this is in the shade 1. I like these little concealer samples that you can get from Feel Unique, although I do have the issue that they dry out slightly. There is still slight remains left on this one, but the consistency of it isn't as good as when I first opened it, and I say it is a bit dry and does kind of drag slightly when you're trying to apply it on the skin. But this is definitely a great way to shade match, because Benefit's not a cheap brand. The full size of this is probably going to set you back around £20, but it's also good to see how it wears throughout the day. I probably got about 3 uses out of this before it started to dry out slightly. I then did use it a following 2 or 3 times after that, so you definitely do get a good few uses out of this and enough to test the product, and I did actually like it. If I wasn't so attached to my current under eye concealer, which is the YSL Touche Eclat, I would definitely consider purchasing this one. I have a couple of face masks. The first one is this Garnier Skin Active Moisture Bomb, and this was definitely a moisture bomb. There was so much liquid on this mask. It was a really good mask, and I do feel like it hydrated my skin so much. I think it does actually claim on the back that it will hydrate your skin for a week. In 15 minutes, skin is intensely rehydrated, looks smoother, and complexion is radiant. In 1 week, fine lines appear reduced, skin looks plumper, skin radiance is revitalised. I don't remember noticing that a week later, but my skin was definitely moisturised. I think I went so far as to not even apply moisturiser that night or the night after using this. So I do kind of think it can stick by its claims, but the amount of product on the actual mask, it takes a lot of working with to get it on your face, and it's not the most comfortable because it is cold for a long time. So I possibly would consider purchasing another one in the future, but it's not one of my go-to masks that I feel like I do need to stock up on. Then we have this Calendula, I think it is, flower mask sheet. This is one that I got from the subscription service Face Story, which is a sheet mask subscription service. It is based in the US, and I think the masks that they send you are predominantly Korean. I found this through, I think it was Sabrina, mentioned it on YouTube, and I thought I'd give it a go. It wasn't overly expensive. She did have a discount code, but I believe the normal price for the subscription is only $8 or $9, which works out probably £5 or £6. You do need to pay shipping, but I think even with shipping, it does only come in about £15. The first one that I got, with it being discounted, I didn't have to pay any tax or customs on it. I don't know if that would be the case when I haven't got a discount code and I am paying full price for the subscription. I did set it for once every 2 months, and I think June is the month that I'm supposed to get my next one. But out of the 4 masks I ordered, this is the only one that I've had chance to use. With being away for a couple of weeks in May, and I've just been very busy for the past few weeks, I just haven't had chance to sit down with a face mask, because I do have an issue that I can't really crack on and do something while I've got a face mask on. I do just need to sit and do nothing. Otherwise I'm constantly fixing it, and then I've got the goop on my hands and I can't do anything. So I haven't genuinely had time for a face mask, and because I do have 3 left from this pack, I also have numerous ones that I've received in recent Glossyboxes and things. I do definitely need to make more time for myself and apply good face masks, because I do think my skin is suffering slightly. I was in a good little routine where I was probably using a face mask once every 2 weeks, but I say in the past couple of months it just kind of fell by the wayside. But it is one of my goals that I do want to go back to going forward, because I think my skin does definitely appreciate it. Going back to this sheet mask, it's probably not the best one I've ever tried. It is all in Korean or French. There is a bit of English on the back, but not enough to tell me what it's really going to do. It just says it soothes irritated skin and provides moisture. I think most masks probably do that. So it was a nice mask. It did have a nice amount of liquid in it compared to the Garnier one. It did sit really nicely on my face. It fitted nicely. But it wouldn't be one that I'd run to repurchase. I didn't notice any excess moisturising to my skin or plumping or anything like that. So it was just a nice mask. The final face mask we have is this really disgusting looking one. I apologise. This is from Superdrug's own brand, and this is the Superfruit Exfoliating Mask. This was one that I purchased on a whim. I think I just added it to my basket when I was ordering something to get free shipping, and this was only 99p, and I would say this is probably one of the best face masks I've tried. For this 99p sachet, I believe I got 2 full face uses out of it, and then I managed to get another use out of it, but I was only able to apply it to my kind of T-zone and my cheeks, and then I ran out. But I, as you can see, made an absolute mess, desperately trying to get every last drop out of it. But for 99p for 2.5 uses, I think that's really good value. It smells absolutely amazing. If you can see the pictures, it's got strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, and it obviously super fruits. It does smell really fruity, but not in an overpowering way. It is really nice, and it does have the exfoliating beads in it as well, and my skin felt great after using it. I did notice if I used it too close together, because my second and third application I did probably use within 1 week, it was too much for my skin. I don't tend to overly exfoliate my skin, because if I do, it just doesn't agree with it. So I think it's something that I probably only need to do every 2 weeks. I haven't purchased anything from Superdrug since, online or anything, to be able to purchase one of these. Last time I was in store, they didn't have this exact one, but this is definitely one I would repurchase in the future. And I think next time I remember to purchase some, I'm probably going to stock up and get a sort of handful of them, because I do really like it. The final few things in here are Feel Unique samples, so I say I'll go through these quite quickly because I have given reviews on these before. The first one is this Clarins Extra Firming Night Cream. I really like the consistency of this one. It was quite a thicker consistency. It blended into my skin really nice, and I did feel like it genuinely plumped my skin, and it would be something that when I do get a bit older, and I do need to really consider anti-aging things, because at the moment I'm early 30s, I am getting some fine lines and wrinkles, but nothing that bothers me too much. But I think obviously once I get older and they do get worse, I think they will bother me. So something like this would be what I'd look to purchase, because it does say it's for wrinkle control and it's a regenerating night cream. So that is kind of what I like, to be able to apply something overnight and my skin look 10 years younger the next morning. So this would be definitely one I'd think about in the future, but I think for my skin now, I don't really need it just yet, hopefully. I have another item from Dermalogica, and this is the Intense Moisture Balance. This was a nice moisturiser, but nothing special. Definitely wouldn't run out and purchase this, because I think Dermalogica is quite a high-end brand and quite expensive, but it was just an okay moisturiser. Then there's this Blemish Control from Murad. This is a Outsmart Blemish Clarifying Treatment. I got a decent amount of uses out of this sachet, and I did quite enjoy using it. It did work, and it did help dry out my blemishes and get rid of them quicker. Then have this Giorgio Armani foundation sample, and this is their Face Fabric Second Skin Makeup. I think it's supposed to be somewhere between a tinted moisturiser and a foundation, but I just did not like this at all. The shade match was pretty good, but it just sunk into the lines on my forehead. It went patchy in a lot of areas. It just did not look great at all, and I think it actually aged me. So this foundation full size is probably about £40, and I will definitely not be running out to purchase this one. And then the final thing in here is this Living Proof Leave-In Conditioner. This is one that I really considered repurchasing until I tried the one from Naughty. Living Proof is a really good hair care line. They are a bit more up there price wise. I think this probably would have sent me back about £10 or £15, whereas the full size of the Naughty one I bought was only £6.99. So I'm glad that I tried the Naughty one before running out to purchase this. If you're not aware, when you use the Feel Unique sample service, you get your £3.95 that you pay for shipping back as a gift voucher. And if I remember rightly, I was going to use the gift voucher that I got off the set of samples with the Naughty one in to purchase the full size of this. But when I'd ordered a hair care product as a sample, I thought I'm going to try that first before I purchase it, because the gift vouchers are valid for a little while, so you don't need to immediately use them. And say, I'm so glad I did. This is a great product, but on a price point it is probably on par with the Naughty one, and that's probably a third of the price of this one. So definitely glad I got to try it, and if the Naughty one stopped working for me, this would be one I'd definitely consider looking into again. So that is it. My basket is empty. Hopefully this video isn't too long once I've edited it down. Based on the amount of products around my feet, it probably is. If you like this video though, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.